Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. Today, this reading is about how your path is going to be cleared. So, showing you the way forward. Pile number 1, we have Virgo, Gemini, Taurus, and Scorpio. Your card is the Hermit. For pile number 2, we have Pisces, Cancer, Aquarius, and Capricorn. Your card is the Princess of Staves, or Princess of Wands. Pile number 3, we have Sagittarius, Libra, Aries, and Leo. Your card is Balance, and this is the Temperance card in this specific deck. Okay, I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the card, the zodiac sign, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, your card is the Hermit. So the Hermit tells me that your path is going to be cleared by walking on your own or doing things your own way. Doing things according to your personal experience and your personal wisdom, the knowledge that you have attained in your life for yourself and that is specific to you. Okay. How is pile number 1's path going to clear? Okay. Oh, sorry. So we have Iris of the Rainbows and the Oakman. I see that it might be something that requires a lot of experience, a lot of direct interaction. So it's something that you can't really read about it. You just have to walk the walk. You have to do things. You have to have a hands-on approach to something. And the more time you spend on it, the better you get at it and the closer you get to your objectives. It does feel like it can be a little bit heavy to spend so much time doing a specific thing that you need to do, but I feel like you have to overcome this. They might be small obstacles, but they might be creating intense emotions, or maybe they're somehow conflicting or annoying. So how is pile number 1's path going to be cleared? We have his thoughts, a change, and short illness. So I feel like you're it's not that it's going to take you a long time, because I feel like you're very close to your objective. But I do think that the distance between you and someone else might be interfering with your emotions or with your state of mind. And it feels like you're searching for something. Maybe that search, it creates sort of restlessness or a lack of being comfortable in the moment. But it seems like it's very small things that just go away easily. But maybe there are a lot of moments like that. They're kind of annoying. Maybe they break your concentration. There's something here about also having something that is constantly interfering with your focus and your concentration, and you're so close. You just need to focus a little bit more. Okay, maybe the intensity has to be deeper, has to be stronger, there's something that has to intensify to get deeper. I feel like it's the focus you can give, the attention you can give to something that's important, that you have to do, and that might be a little bit annoying, or it might seem like there are a lot of like small things to do, and they end up seeming like they're a big thing. But it feels like they're less important, like individually. Maybe if you look at them individually, you will see that it's not a big deal. Maybe it becomes easier. It also becomes easier if you focus on the objective. Okay. Saturn in Cancer with charity. Saturn in Aries with risk. Venus in Aquarius with detachment. Sun in Taurus with acquisition. And Moon in Leo with appreciation. It does seem like you're not having a lot of fun with this. It feels like it's you also feel like it's dangerous maybe, or that it's something that affects you in a way that is unpleasant, and not only emotionally, but maybe physically also, like in your body. Like you don't like the sensations, you don't enjoy the process, let's say. And I feel like there's some sort of detachment from the process that needs to happen. The way you experience this has to change so that the outcome also changes, and that you can be closer to your objective, and maybe that objective is a person. I feel like there's someone thinking about someone else. Or maybe there's someone else like pressuring you to do things in a specific way, and it's not joyful for you to do it that way, and maybe you need to change what you are allowed to change and do things in a way that it's your way. Like do things your way, and not without the interference and without the discomfort. It's almost like if you don't listen to what someone is saying about you, or if you don't let that person interfere with your life or with your state of mind and with your emotions, you will be able to do things much easier, much more easily, much more it's like there is a custom-made way for you to do things, like bespoke. There's your very personal way and particular way of doing things. And in order to find this, you need to maybe not give so much attention to someone else's thoughts on the matter, maybe. Five of Swords. Oh, Five of Swords. Yeah, it feels like it's failing, right? It feels like you're failing. It feels like the battles that you win, they're not really, they don't make you happy. They're not fully enjoyed. The Tower. And Death. So this is really massive change. A massive transformation. Wow. And the Five of Cups. Maybe it is disappointing, and it is a little bit sad that you might have to let this person go, or that you might have to kind of like destroy that person in your mind or in your emotional story, let's say. Maybe you were hoping that this person was a good partner or a good boss, a good business partner. I don't know. I feel like there's a partnership here that's possibly not comfortable, not working, and it should work. I feel like it can work, but you need to maybe detach emotionally a little bit, so that you see other qualities and other patterns here, and also focus more on yourself and your needs, your own needs and your own desires, what makes you happy and motivated, and less about the other. The Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Cups. Okay. Okay, so maybe I'm talking to people who are on the younger side, and there's a lot to be learned. There's a lot of experience that is ahead of you, and if you have this perspective that there's so much that's going to happen and things can change so much, you're not so attached to what's happening right now, and you don't take it so seriously, or you don't see things as being like a big drama, or I'm not saying that you're exaggerating things. Everything is felt and lived according to our personal experience. And also being aware of your own personal experience. I feel like you have to learn about that, but the other person is also learning. So maybe if you see things in a more detached way, you will enjoy things more, because you'll see that things are not that bad, and things are not as uncomfortable. It's not that bad. You can find, the smooth sailing. You can find the joy here. You can. Maybe you just have to allow the perception that you had at first about this situation to be destroyed, or to be reshaped by life and by whatever is happening, without too much interference from your mind. So what I'm saying here is like observing without having an opinion, without needing to have this kind of judgment. Okay, so just describing the situation and then leaving it open-ended, so that there's space for growth. There's an opportunity to learn here. So I feel like your path is cleared by letting go of, okay, 8 of Wands. I feel like it's really quick. So this is why I feel like I'm talking to people who are young and who don't have a lot of, how do I say this? Like established things. Like you can change. Or if that's not your case, or if it's, it maybe the young part is the quality of your character. And maybe you feel like you're young and that you're still learning and that you can learn. Because it feels like you're a person who can quickly recover from things. It's like when you're like a teenager and your boyfriend or your girlfriend breaks up with you and you're sad for like a day and then you're fine. And it's something that with age usually changes. And I'm not saying like everyone is like that, because some people, when they're a teenager, they're much more sensitive, and everyone is different. But from my experience and from the people around me, I do feel like when you're very young, like, or a kid, it's really easy to forget the painful situations, like heartbreak, or when a friend disappoints us. It's easy to move on. It's easier to move on because it's the complexity of the experience is maybe less overwhelming. Time is, the conception of time is so different for younger people. The idea of time, they have so much time, right? It's like one day, it's a huge treasure of experiences, and there's so many things to learn, and there's this time expansion. And when you age, you start to think, where's time going? It seems like it flies by, and everything, just like a year just flies by, and you're not, you begin to think that time is accelerating, and that it's different. So yeah, let me just see if there's anything else here, because I do feel like having this conception in your mind that you can learn is going to unlock this. Knight of Wands, Knight of Staves. Yeah, I think it will give you this boost forward. 5 of Wands, 5 of Staves. Yeah, maybe, and also maybe this you need to do things that other people might consider unpleasant, or like they're not seeing you in that way, and they might fight you for the story, right? Okay, but let's see what else. King of Swords, Queen of Cups, Eight of Cups, the Moon, and 10 of Arrows, or 10 of Swords. It does seem like this is a teaching, a sort of teaching that life is giving you that is, I would say, of an emotional nature. So it has to do with how you attach to the situations, not only the outcome of a situation, which is, the most common thing. If you have an objective, of course you are emotionally involved with that objective. And it's really hard for us to modulate this relationship between doing our best, doing the things that we know are conducive to that objective, but also being detached and allowing that objective to unfold in its own time, in its own way, and to also allow other people to do their own thing. And I do feel like this has something to do with an expectation that's surrounding someone in your life. Someone, I feel like it's someone who is also thinking of you. It's someone who was also expecting something from you. And there might be this give and take here. But I feel like if you change the way you, if you change your mind about what gives you comfort in this situation and what is in the process itself, not, I don't feel like you need to change anything about your objectives or something like that. It's just the awareness of the place where you are when you are working towards this. It becomes maybe polluted by another person's expectation, and it interferes with your feelings, with your thoughts, with your emotional reality. And I do feel like you have to learn something from experience that will also strengthen your connection with spirit, with life. It will make you stronger. It will make you more cohesive, more integrated, and harder to defeat, let's say. So also harder to sway, harder to manipulate, harder to derail. Okay, so you're going to be less likely to succumb to negativity if you learn this specific lesson. And I'm just kind of, this is just an overview of what it can be. I feel like it's going to be much more vivid. There's a lot of detail here. There's a lot of specificities that have to do with the temperament of the people involved, that have to do with the context of life around it. It has to do with the personal, the origins, what came before, it has to do with all the baggage. So, but I do feel like it's very easy to change. It's very easy to make the energy move and to get the knowledge that you need. It's very easy to do that. But it feels like when you are doing that, there might be a moment, like a specific moment, where you will trigger something in the other. And in that moment, I feel like you're being called to be very rational, to be detached, so that you then can retreat in a good way, retreat into your inner reality, and to try and understand what happened, and with the time and with the care and with the enjoyment that you need to process the emotions. You need to understand how you process your emotions. So imagine that you have an interaction that is possibly unpleasant because you say something that disappoints the other person, but it's something that you need to say and it's the truth. It's a little bit of, there's a conflict, there's a little storm there, but you know that it's for the greater good, and you know that it will then clarify other things and allow you all to build upon this, okay? There's no destruction just for creating chaos here. There's a need, there's an emotional need that needs to be met, and there's a truth that needs to be spoken, the authenticity. Some fears and suspicions might need to be released, so this might also be a good opportunity to get rid of those. And this is how you become stronger, because it's like a muscle that you're training. You're becoming stronger at being detached at the right moment so that you don't amplify any conflict. You put yourself in a learner's position, like I am an apprentice, I am learning, I am mastering myself. I don't need to prove anything to other people, and you have to be careful with your expectations of me regarding this and this and that. And there's this clarifying, okay, of this emotional confusion that might be interfering with you, because it's also giving other people's negativity like a little bit of fuel. There's this misunderstanding, and this is how you overcome any blockage, and this is the way your path becomes clearer. So study this situation, try to look at it in a detached way as much as you can, and work towards feeling comfortable and joyful in your day-to-day activity and your relationships with this person or this group of people, because I do feel like you can arrive at an understanding. You can get to a place of peace, and also being aware that you're both learning, and respect that. Respect this each other's space so that you can grow at your own pace and in your own the way you are, right? With your little quirks, with your idiosyncrasies, with your temperament. I feel like you're building mutual respect with someone, and also with yourself, of course, because you are allowing yourself to be how you are. And this is also a form of love, right? Of self-love. Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2, your card is the Princess of Staves. And the Princess of Staves is about initiative. It's about getting the energy moving and doing things and acting when you have the opportunity, and seizing the moment. It's also about creating beautiful things, things that are attractive, that are charismatic, that are magnetic somehow, creating beautiful things. But also there's a pragmatic side to the Princess of Staves also. So it's like the beauty also comes from the practicality and the applicability of something. So maybe you're working on a product or a project that has those characteristics, and this might also be a clue for how your path will open. The Singer of Connection. The Journeyman and the Loam. So I feel like you're the way your path opens to you has to do with you contacting people and talking to different people, to giving them your attention, to giving them your love, maybe even your affection. So I feel like there's this sense of closeness with the people who you interact with that is also beneficial to your objective, and that is also a part of your journey, of your personal journey. Creating connections with people, even if they're distant, or if they're traveling, or if you're traveling. We have Rich Girl, Court Person, And court. Huh. So, maybe there's some legal... It feels like there's a legal situation that needs to be cleared, that you have the capacity and the tools and the knowledge or the pieces of information that you need to move forward. But I feel like you have to contact people, that you have to communicate with people. Maybe you need to think about, okay, who can I talk to help me with this? If you have something that has any legal implications, I would speak to people who can help you with this and who are also not involved in a way that can harm you, of course. So maybe you need to talk to people who are impartial and who are not connected to the situation so that they have their own interests here. So you do need to have this like a loving approach, a completely open-hearted approach to what you're going through. If you're going through a legal situation, which if you're not, I'll get there. But this pile, I do feel like someone is going through I was trying to explore the hypothesis of it not being specifically legal. But if it's this other thing, it's just a completely different thing. Either it's legal or it's something very different. Okay. So Venus, sorry. Venus in Aquarius with detachment. Saturn in Aquarius with eccentricity. Okay. So I feel like you need to talk to someone who is not connected directly to this situation, because they have a very unorthodox view of what you're going through, and maybe they can give you an idea. Moon in Aquarius with independence. Mars in Gemini with decision. And Mars in Pisces with escape. I feel like this person is going to help you make a decision about something that will enable you to escape from a legal situation, or it will enable you to get your rights and it's also enabling you to to be more independent and to be on your own journey, to decide something on your own, to decide how you are going to move forward with your own independent thinking. Two of Pentacles. I feel like they're helping you also negotiate. Eight of Cups. Okay. There's also this departure from something to a different, or move into a different place. Maybe you will move to a different place, a different country, or just a different city, a different context. You can decide when to go, when to come. You know, you're independent, you're autonomous. It's like getting a car, right? And having that sense of freedom of I can go wherever I want, and at whatever time of day, and it's really freeing and empowering. Prince of Pentacles. And yeah, power with Freya. This is the Emperor. So it has this reading is about you being independent and being autonomous, having establishing your power, exercising that power, exerting that, and is that how you say it? Exerting power? No, I don't think that's the correct expression. But to express your power, to use it, and to see how that power interacts with matter and how it can also create in a beautiful way. Maybe this reading is also saying that you need to contact people, keep the ball rolling, and because it's like you start talking to people and then you get to a point where the person you're talking to is no longer connected to your situation in such a profound way, and it's just so much lighter. And that person, I feel like they have an energy, or they have a knowledge, a piece of information, they have an experience that can benefit you tremendously. So if you can, and if this reading is resonating with you, try to just call, people who you are reminded of when I'm speaking of this, and call one person and have a conversation, and maybe you share a couple of ideas, and then if you feel like it, later on you call another person, and how you doing, what have you been up to, and then suddenly, without noticing and without thinking too much about it, you will be getting exactly what you need to move forward. And it will seem like it's a miracle. It will seem like it's a gift from God and from spirit, from a protector. But it's actually just you kept the energy going, and you didn't I'm also thinking that court person in court also has to do with you thinking that you're very restricted in the way you can operate, and maybe if you talk to other people, they will have other ideas and they will enrich your imagination, and they will give you so much that you can play with and that you can fit into your experience, so that it's very useful. I feel like you have a beautiful conversation and you're very relaxed because you think it's just you're just talking to a friend or to a very nice person, and suddenly it gets really profound and serious, not because it's intended to be so, but you get that piece of information that's actually very, very important and very relevant to your situation. And I feel like it's something legal, okay? It's something to do with legal knowledge, finances, legal things, paperwork. But I'm much more inclined to the legal, because there's a verdict also. There's a decision, there's a verdict, there's a strategy here. And this person comes to enrich that. And it's very surprising, because your path is cleared by this very casual conversation, very serendipitous connection. Okay, so let's see if we know. we can know more about Seven of Cups. Princess of Cups. Fertility. This is the Empress with Estsanatlehi. I feel like this person has a lot of feminine energy. The person who you will contact with. It seems like it's someone who has a lot of feminine energy and even like maternal instincts. I was feeling this protective energy from the start. So maybe this person is also this rich girl here. But it can also be yourself and how you see yourself after that conversation. Like that person can also give you this hint that's very subtle because you have the Seven of Cups here. So there might be, it can be strange. It can be really odd, okay? The way that you get this intuition or that you get this information, it can be really odd. It can be very, very magical even. The Ace of Staves. So keep the ball rolling. Keep doing things. Don't lose the initiative. Seven of Staves. Don't give up. And the Six of Swords. You keep getting this departure, this change of places, escape, Six of Swords, journeyman. There's movement afterwards. I feel like if you feel stuck in any way right now, this is reassuring you that after this little tweak that you can work on because of that information that you get in a very strange way, things will move fast and they will advance in a way that's surprising. It can also mean that there's movement, so physical movement, that you're moving, finally moving from the place where you are into a different location. It can be a different country, a different city, or just moving house. It can be changing your mind radically. Or changing your approach to how you do things. Something is changing radically after you get this piece of information. It's like the pace hastens. You move at it's like going through a tunnel, okay? It's like almost losing track of the movement suddenly because it's so fast. Like those in space movies when you get the light speed tunnel of stars, like they're like just lines. They blur so much. It's like that. It's like suddenly you get this tunnel and things just move at lightning speed. Or this information is the piece of the puzzle that you needed to move to that place, to that location. because there's a change in your context that's very, very meaningful. And I feel like it's the landscape around you might change. So location. It can also be a place that you weren't considering. You can move to a different place that you weren't really considering. It's like I want to move, I want to go and live in another country, and you're considering a specific country or two, and then suddenly when things change, when this legal thing gets resolved or there's a decision, you move to another option that you weren't even considering to begin with. It seems like you're not aware of a lot of the elements, a lot of the ingredients that will clear your path right now. And the only thing that you need to do is to keep talking to people, to keep contacting people. Today is really difficult. Sorry for that, the pronunciation. So keep the ball rolling, keep the communications flowing, and eventually you will get to that person. And it seems like it's just from a casual conversation, so it's difficult for me to say, like, when you see this specific sign, because it will seem at the moment like it's very casual and very mundane. It will not seem special, but it will feel pleasant. It will feel good, like you're sharing a good time with someone, or that you're happy to be connected to that person. I'm not seeing someone who is very deeply connected to you. So it might be like a fortuitous meeting with someone, I don't know, on the bus, on the street. It's really strange, really hard to say. It seems very casual. But I feel like it will give you the key to win and to move at lightning speed, finally. Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your card is Balance, or the Temperance card. And this card is all about health and healing, because balance is, of course, the sign that there's health, that there's the forces that are at work, and the polarities, they are achieving a neutral position. So that means that there's integrity, that there's a cohesion. So this can go for health in all aspects of life, so mentally, emotionally, physically. But it also has something to do with relationships, but let's see. There's something about healing here, for sure. So, how your path will become clear. We have himself. The singer of connection. And wow, okay, just give me a moment. So we have Tobiro of the Waters, and Tobiro of the Waters is also about healing and using water to heal. I do think that this is also to do with the balance of the masculine aspect and the feminine aspect of healing itself. So how do these two polarities and these two energies heal your body and heal your soul? How do you live with your masculine and how do you live with your feminine side? How do they integrate? Where do they conflict? Where are the stressful points or the painful situations that are connected to that balance? I feel like there's a need to heal that balance so that there can be healing in relationships, in your body, in your soul. Okay. We have military person, success in love. I do feel like this has something to do with relationships and healing in relationships, and receiving a gift. Interesting. Okay, let's see. How is your path becoming clear? One more. We have Mercury in Libra with influence. You see the serpent and the serpents here? It feels to me like there's something in your routine that needs to be addressed so that your health is improved. And of course, this is not health advice. I am not a doctor, but it's more of an energetic way of viewing health, okay? Like a waterfall. And if you get to the source of the waterfall, if you get to the source of the water, the spring, where it's being, where it emerges from the earth or the mountain or the rocks, whatever is your imagination, where would it be in your body, this fountain of energy? So I do feel like maybe an exercise in visualizing your body, visualizing your energy centers, your energy body, and maybe kind of scanning. Yeah, doing a scan, a body scan. I don't know if you have tried to do this, but if you've never tried it, I would advise you to experiment with this. Maybe there are a lot of guided body scanning meditations on YouTube, but you can do it just from your own, silent meditation, and you find a peaceful place and a silent and calm, serene place, peaceful state to go inside and to only focus on how your body feels and where are the painful points, where are the tensions. So it seems like it would be really good for you at the moment to go to the source of the situation, to the source of the tension between the polarities. And I feel like you doing this will have really beneficial effects on your relationships. Sun in Gemini with versatility. You can do amazing things with your body. So maybe I'm also talking to people who work with their body. Mercury in Leo with drama. Moon in Pisces with empathy. Jupiter in Cancer with speculation. And finally, Venus in Sagittarius with flirtation. So I do feel like this will heal specific things in a relationship that's very important for you right now. That I do feel like it's a relationship that is beginning. It seems like it's starting. There's a lot about this story that is still yet to discover. But I do feel like you will be able to receive something from this person, to understand them, to listen to them, because you have empathy here. But before, you have to solve the tension that is in your body. You have to allow it to wash away before you connect with this person, before you are receptive. Because I feel like you're getting a gift from someone. There's someone who is coming in and they want to so I feel like they want to be with you, but maybe when the moment presents itself and there's this demonstration of will, let's say, it might seem like it's too intense if you are not healed. And it's mainly about you. It's not useful at all to just talk about the other person and how they could do something better or they should have said something different. I don't think that that's really useful at the moment, because I feel like focusing more on your own healing, it empowers you. It gives you the strength, and it gives you the space that you need. And that's a space that you need to claim for yourself first. Page of Stones with links. Two of Vessels with attraction. So maybe this person is also a little bit inexperienced, or they seem like they're a little bit of a diamond in the rough, let's say. And there might be, maybe you need to have a little bit of patience and to have a little bit of time and to, understand, to observe, to also to allow the feelings to wash away, to release the tensions that were already there. Some of them, they were not related to this relationship, to this connection. So I feel like you want to do things right with this person. You want to begin this conversation in a way that is constructive, that there's an abundance and a richness for both of you. And that requires a little bit of let's say oxygen. Okay? There needs to be space. It can't be too tight, okay? It can't be too close right away, but it has the potential to grow if you give it some oxygen. We have the stag. 10 of arrows with instruction. And the 3 of cups with joy. Okay. So it feels like it can last a long time. This relationship has a lot of potential. And there's a lot of learning to be done, but especially I feel like there's a lot of healing to be done, because there are many things from the past here that are interfering. We have the influence here. And I do feel like, oddly, strangely, those things seem to be easily addressed if they are considered as in your body. So if you don't consider them, for instance, like, oh, it's a memory, it's just I have this bad impression of this specific type of food or this specific type of person. I don't like that color. It reminds me of a bad experience that I had, something like that. It triggers something that is unpleasant. If you think that it's a mind thing or it's just an emotional thing, it becomes more abstract and it becomes more difficult to deal with. In this case, I feel like I'm talking to people who deal with things better or more efficiently, more efficiently, if you address the body first, like the body as the starting point for your whole experience, the emotional, the mental, everything. If you try to see your this is just a suggestion, an experience that you can do. See your body as a map that corresponds to other bodies, the emotional body, the astral body, the mental, the etheric. There are a lot of different conceptions of our energetic bodies. But if you simplify this and just imagine that your physical body is an analogy of all those layers of your being, you can scan your body and see exactly where the problem lies and speak to that part of your body. Ask it questions. Maybe you will get pictures in your mind, you will hear sounds, you will get sensations, you will maybe get ideas, complete answers, whatever comes. If you try to write it down, or even if you don't write it down, I feel like just the act of being in communion with your body in such an intimate way, it will heal you. And of course that I'm not saying that you can just give up on whatever you're doing that is keeping you healthy and just do this. I'm just suggesting another thing that you can do if you're already treating yourself really good and you're a healthy person. But there are always like things that are painful, or some things in our body that start to, the bones crack in a specific way when we do a certain movement. There's always something, and sometimes those little signs are connected to emotional realities, to memories. And I do feel like this moment is the moment to use those techniques to address certain issues. And this is the way your path is cleared. It seems like it's very intuitive. There's no real need for a very scientific approach. Although if you have this scientific mind, of course, studying the way this might work and the different techniques might be very interesting and stimulating. But I don't feel like that's the productive approach at the moment. Page of Bows with Stoat. 8 of Vessels with Rebirth. And Page of Vessels with Otter. You know, I feel like you might need to be accepting and forgiving of some aspects of the other person that might be a bit immature for your taste and or for your needs right now. But I don't think that that's a bad thing, because if you give space, things will grow on there's a rhythm, there's a cycle to things, things happen, there's a natural order, and the acceptance of that will give you the sense of I feel like it's a liberating thing to understand that or to accept that. Because there might be a little bit of a perfectionist. I'm feeling like I'm talking to people who are very perfectionist. And that can be very, very good if it's used in a productive way. But regarding relationships and matters of the heart, difficult feelings, it's difficult to be perfectionist, because these are the things that make life imperfect, but also joyful. It's the messiness of the whole process that's kind of stimulating also. King of Stones with Wolf. The Journey. This is the Death card. And the Six of Vessels with Reunion. Okay, so I do feel like for some of you, spending some time apart might be really productive, because I do feel like this is talking about a relationship. I'm trying to see if this can be about other things. If it's not a relationship, and this tension, these two energies, these polarities are just wrestling inside of you, and these are the two aspects that need to be balanced, two aspects of you that need to be balanced. I feel like time will heal it naturally. They say time heals all wounds, and wounds all heals. But in this case, time will heal it. If this is just you, just focusing on you, time will heal it. If this is with another person, if this is a relationship, some time apart will also heal it, because you will meet again. This is not debatable. And if it's scary, if you feel like it's a separation, I would try to question that. Is it really? Is it that bad? For some of you, there might be a need to really feel the separation. For others of you, when you think about it, you will understand that it's not really that serious. It's not a real separation. It's not the end. It's not the end, because you will meet again. But first you need to have this oxygen, have this space for learning and for growing. So spending some time apart might be very productive. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be a long time. But I'm feeling like even if it's just a short amount of time, it will feel like an eternity for some of you, because maybe you're really interested in this person and there's this dynamic that's very intense. It seems like the magnetism is very strong because the polarities are really uh, very strong, defined, very well defined. Okay, there's this sharp contrast, and it creates the attraction. So it might seem like a long time, but it's necessary for maturity. And if this is just you, to understand that time is also an entity. Time is also a character in your story. And it has its own ways that are very obscure to us, mere mortals, let's say, to us that are restricted to this very linear concept of time. It's very hard for us to picture all the characteristics of time. It does feel like lately I'm getting this strange feeling about time, like time sometimes becomes more flexible and other times less flexible. And sometimes I feel like it has something to do with the collective energy and with the opportunities that people are getting, with the way people are thinking about different options and ways of doing things. And sometimes people are really creative, and there are a lot of, it's like time is more malleable because there are a lot of options, and it's like there are a lot of little dots on that line. And sometimes there's just a line and you have to just go on that line, and there's no real like change happening. It's just a perception. And I do feel like we are all connected, and this sense of limitation or restriction of choice or amplification of choice and opportunities, it really shapes our collective mind when there are more opportunities and when there are less opportunities. And the more restricted and the more the line is just one continuous line, the more I feel like there is this, there's more stability, it's true, but there's also less malleability. So I feel like it's also more difficult for people to change their mind. It's also more difficult, for people to learn, to create, because it's just continuous. And when you have a lot of opportunities, it's almost like life becomes this circle of circles, and it's so much more multi-dimensional. It's like there's a lot of nodes and there's a lot of movement. There's much more movement. And I feel like it's also sometimes more joyous. There's more dynamic. I don't know why I'm saying this, but maybe this has something to do, so your concept of time and your perception of time maybe has something to do with your situation, with this relationship, even if it's just with yourself or with your body, with the way you design your routine, your daily routine, because you also have military person here. And now I'm focusing more on the need to change something in your routine or the way you see your body, so that you create new routines, create new health related choices or patterns that will also help you be more available, be more connected, because this is about you having also time and patience for other people, for different characteristics, okay? Different options for difference itself, contrasts. Oh, okay. Now I'm sensing something else that's very interesting. It's like there might be this intolerance to contrast that comes from a need for stability. And at the same time, there's a need for connection that comes from a little bit of chaos, and because the joy we derive from life sometimes is connected to the joy other people feel, and we tend to mirror the happiness and the joy of others. And in a relationship, this is very, very true. So sometimes allowing a little bit of chaos can also bring joy into your situation and your relationship, if that's the case, and allow you to see other things, see other ways, other opportunities. And later on, you can use those ideas and opportunities to establish new patterns, to establish new routines that also stabilize your emotions and your psyche. So I feel like I'm talking to people who recover from illness really well, and their bodies are incredibly good at healing. So I do feel like that's why I'm saying, I am seeing in my mind's eye and I'm sensing in my body that you should focus on your body, on the sensations of your body, so you can address those pain points with love. Because it's not like you should be a certain way. There's a lot of different ways to be. There's a lot of ways that things can flow and that health can come to you. All types of health. Mental, physical, emotional. There are many ways. You have your way. But to learn and to study, you get to see more opportunities and ways of being. And then you can integrate them your way into your routine. Then you can adapt the knowledge that you got. It seems like I'm speaking to people who are very precise and methodical and need to have like this perspective of all like the steps that you need to take. And sometimes releasing that method and that step-by-step routine can be a little bit scary, can be a little bit confusing even. But I do feel like you can alternate. So sometimes you are more disciplined, and sometimes you have to open up yourself to a little bit of chaos, so you can learn new things, new techniques, new visions, new opinions, and then you can integrate them and use them to your benefit. And if this is about a relationship, the chaos is also working for you, although it might seem a little bit too much, a little bit difficult to understand at first, but then it will turn into happiness and fulfillment with that person. And I feel like you will have a lot of fun together if you can balance the energies, and if you can understand how these different polarities are working in each other and in your relationship. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, subscribe to the newsletter so we can keep in touch, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.